Last week we showed you a difficult to watch video of Floyd Dent being pulled from his car by police officer William Melendez and beaten. And since we found that video, we found another. The plot thickens. First, in case you did not see that original, the beating of Floyd Dent, here is that film. No, this is good.
Okay, so this is them dragging Floyd Dent out.
Yeah.
The judge later threw out almost all the charges because it was obvious that they dragged him out of his car. He posed no threat. He had no weapons.
And almost instantaneously began beating him and tasing him.
And put him in a chokehold, 16 punches to the head. 3 times they used a stun gun on him. And he didn't resist except for trying to cover his face as they were punching him in the head repeatedly. So now the one charge that the judge had not thrown out was the drug charge because it looked like they had found drugs in the car.
Yeah.
Now, we found out that the officer involved here had been accused in the past and brought to trial for planting drugs. So the lawyer at the time had said, well, there's actually evidence from this video where he's taking out the drugs out of his own clothes and getting ready to plant it. Well, now we have that video.
Yeah.
So let's show you that. So you're about to see Officer Melendez, and there's going to be a spotlight on it as well. He very casually takes it out of his clothes. There it is. That's a baggie I'm going to plant later. I've forgotten entirely that there's dash cam video of all this. Oops. Whoops. And it appears that is the bag they find later that Dent theoretically was using.
And he's thinking, wait, we didn't disable that dash cam? The one day we didn't disable it.
Yeah, and so Dent, by the way, is 57 years old, has worked for the car companies for 37 years.
Yeah.
Never had any kind of trouble with the law, no criminal record whatsoever. He says he doesn't use drugs, certainly wasn't using drugs at the time. When they took him to the hospital because he was bleeding profusely, he insisted on getting drug tested because he knew there's no drugs in his system. And of course, the test came out clean. So now this new evidence of Melendez taking that bag out of his own clothes would appear to be damning.
Yeah. Could be a coincidence. That could be his own personal cocaine. And Dent had cocaine.
That looked very similar to that.
Yeah.
I mean, what an unbelievable... Maybe they get a shop at the same place.
Yeah. The excuses given by the police into why they began beating him and why they followed him in the first place are just ridiculous. Saying that they were going to pull him over because he visited a person who lived in an area that is known for having a drug problem. So anyone that goes to that area, you will then track down and pull over. And almost instantaneously, they say in the first 15 seconds from him being pulled out, they punched him 16 times already. And him saying that, from the cop's point of view, he walks up to the door of the car, Dent looks out and says, "I'm going to kill you." That's how you talk to a cop. That's clearly what you would do to a cop in the national environment we have right now in the U.S.
Besides
insanity.
Which, they had conveniently turned off all the mics. They actually do have mics on them, but they had turned them off. That's probably why he thought the dash cam was off. But the reality is the video was still on, the audio wasn't.
Yeah.
That's why the cop said, oh yeah, you can't hear it on the tape, but he was saying, I'm going to kill you in that 1 second he had as I was dragging him out of the car. The judge did not believe him and dismissed all those charges immediately based on seeing the video.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to say, oh, he was in the general area from which the drug dealers come from, which sounds like a Cheney-like statement for why we attacked Iraq, right? It's around Detroit. You could pretty much apply that to the entire city.
It's also
right?
America.
Yeah, anywhere in America. Yeah, you think there isn't drug dealing going on in the hills of Kentucky?
Yeah.
I watch Justified. I know there is. Right?
Yeah, and ironically, the organization that seems to do the most passing out of drugs in that area seems to be the police department.